All right, what does this gold here have to do with the New York Times front page? Well, here it is, Sunday, April 23rd, 2023, which was yesterday, as of the filming of this video. And here on the front page of the New York Times Sunday edition, you can see there's an article here. In California, Uncle Fuzzy and the gang scoop up flood gold. Big old article in here written by Thomas Fuller. He's the San Francisco bureau chief of the New York Times. Came out and spent a few days out here with me and my friends. I took him out on an all-day adventure one day, and that evening I took him to my club meeting. If you go in here, my treasure hunting club. Looks like page 16 is where it continues. We'll go to that real quick. Yeah, here's the article. So here's me at the club meeting, standing here, and that's a picture of me and my tools right there. A picture of my hand with some gold that I found. Jim Eakin from our club, Albert Fausel from our club, from Placerville Hardware, one of the sponsors of this channel. And anyway, here's a whole story in here, and it features me quite a bit in here and talks about flood gold. So this is an article that, like I said, this is just yesterday, but I wrote an article just like this in the 2018 silver and gold version of Western and Eastern Treasures magazine. And you can see I have an article in here called Winter Flood Brings New Gold. So this is something that's been going on here. Every time we get a big snowpack up in the Sierras, the gold is just washed down out of the hills by all the creeks, banks, and streams. And we get fresh supplies of gold. And here's my article here. Winter Flood Brings New Gold. Some of the pieces that we're finding, and you can see how the creeks will reshape themselves, like a new cut came in here. And in an area where there's already gold, a new cut is a fresh look into the ground there. But more importantly, the floods bring all the gold out of the high snowpack quickly down through all the rivers. And next thing you know, all of our streams and rivers that start up a little bit higher in high country and work their way down are bringing fresh new gold supplies down to us. So that's what this story in the New York Times is all about. And that's what this whole tray of gold is all about. These are all recent nuggets coming out of the flood gold. And I wanted to take a second to tell you guys how cool it was that we made the New York Times front page and what's going on here. All right, and so as a result of this article, I've had a lot of phone calls, emails coming in, and people found my YouTube channel. We're getting news agencies, radio stations, and everything just blowing our phones up right now. And Albert up there at the store, my buddy Albert Fausel, who's featured in the article, owns the Placerville Hardware store. He has been on the phone nonstop, and he's making appointments with all these different news agencies. In fact, we're going to be with, I think it was Nightly News. It might be one of the nightly news channels. Tomorrow morning, we'll see them in the morning and do an interview with them. I'm having a lot of fun with all that. I did this article back in 2018, so this has happened before. I did another article in 2007 where we had a big flood year with a lot of snow. In fact, that was a scary year, 2007, where we had floods down in the Sacramento Valley and into the Delta that were at very, very high risk of breaking the levees, which would have been catastrophic. And this year has been catastrophic already as well with flooding, like Tulare Lake or Lake Tulare or whatever it's called down there. And, you know, these are areas that are typically very dry, but they're agricultural centers where a lot of our products and fruits and vegetables and nuts and things like that are grown here in California. Not only that, but cattle is raised down there. Milk cows, all that stuff have all been displaced by millions and millions and millions of gallons of water just sitting right on top of that whole valley down there. And we're not able to grow anything down there, and we had to move entire ranches and farms with tens of thousands of heads of cattle all out of the area because there's no place to put them right now. So on the flip side of all this gold that's going to be washing out of the hills when that snow melts up there, or a little bit of a heat wave we're having right now, all that is bringing fortune down to us. And around mid-June or July, we'll be able to get in to some of these waterways and find more of this stuff. This is just the early stuff right here we're getting. And, you know, that's a great thing. It's very fortunate for us who are looking for gold. But on the other hand, it's been catastrophic and disastrous for our state as well. So anyway, a lot of the food that people eat all around the United States of America and even in New York comes from right here in California, where a lot of these areas that we're growing this food are underwater right now. So it's bad and good. But anyway, before I go, I want to show you guys a nugget that was found a couple days ago by a friend of mine. and it was not found in a recent waterway. It's an ancient stream bed where something like this probably happened back in the old days, but you can look at it and see it's kind of rounded all around on the edges. Let's take a look at that clip right now. All right, here's that 16 troy ounce solid gold nugget. Just an amazing piece of gold. There's no quartz on it. It's just solid gold. Pure 16.1 troy ounces of gold. There's 12 troy ounces in a troy pound, so it's 1.3 pounds of gold when you look at the precious metals. But absolutely amazing find of a lifetime. Man, how incredible was that? Just unbelievable to hold that thing in my hand. I couldn't believe the weight of it and the size, just ridiculous. So anyway, there's areas out here on some of our old maps in the California gold camps, stuff like Potato Patch or Growlers. Potato Patch was called that because the nuggets there were the size of potatoes. And you can see that one there was, the size of at least a bird egg or a small potato. But there's areas out here where everything was big like that. There was an area out here called Growlers, where the nuggets were so big in the pans that when they were panning, the nuggets would growl in the pan. That's how big they were. They were the size of your thumb or marbles, the miners said. So anyway, we're lucky that we live in an area where there is gold, and I'm hoping that with the snow melt that, it washes the banks down and brings some of that new fresh stuff and some big ones like that, make it down here. But just wanted to take a second to tell you that this happened and that it's going on. Let you enjoy the footage of that nugget you just saw. And if you watch for us on TV, you're probably going to see us on the news over the next few days as all these interviews are going to be happening. I'm excited about all this, and I'm glad that it's getting a little bit of national attention, because I hope that it brings attention to some of the bad parts of it too, the aid that we may need. So that's it for now, guys. We'll catch you next time and see you real soon. Take care.